And welcome back to the channel. On this video, I want to talk about e-bike batteries. And I want to talk about range on e-bike batteries. And I don't know, on the bike I'm riding right now is the Lyric Graffiti X. It's a 40 amp hour, 60 volt battery. I do not know how much range I can get out of this battery because I have not done a range test, because we are still in winter and I haven't ridden long distance yet. And so I can't give you a definitive answer on how far on this battery, how far I can go. But usually the way I measure batteries for myself, I usually measure, especially on a bike like this, where this bike I exclusively throttle. I do not pedal this bike. I've pedaled it before just to demonstrate, to show you that yes, you can pedal this bike. It does pedal, but I did not buy this bike to pedal. And so I ride it the way I expected I was going to ride it when I bought it, and that was throttle. And so, but with this battery, my expectations are, usually I do it this way. I estimate for every amp hour, I measure 1 mile. So I figure this, since this is a 40 amp battery, I'm just going to get by this intersection here. Since this is a 40 amp hour battery, I would say I should be able to get 40 miles out of this battery. That's how I measure it. It might be a little bit more I can get out of it, but that's riding in the, say, 25 to 35 miles an hour. That's what I'm figuring, that I should be able to get 40 miles. And so I usually measure it that way. So if you're riding, it depends on a lot of things, right, as far as how far you're going to get range. But I usually go by, if you're throttling only, like I say, about 1. So if you're pedaling with it, it depends also on assist level, how much weight you're carrying, how big of a rider you are. And that, for myself, by the way, I'm 175 is my weight, riding weight. And I'm not, right at the moment, I'm not carrying any cargo, so it's just me and the bike. And I want to turn here. So if I'm riding a bike that is a pedal assist, and I would figure you're probably going to get more like 1.5, I would say, depending on your assist level and the conditions that you're riding in and all that, because that always plays a factor. But so I'd say if you have let's say you have a 20 amp hour battery, I would say you can probably estimate, and this is where you're going to use throttle or pedal or more pedal, at least 1.5 miles per amp hour. So with a 20 amp hour battery, I'd figure you'd at least get 30 miles. It may be 30 to 40, depending on what pedal assist level you're in. And if you're just pedaling, then yeah, I'd say you should almost double what you would get with just throttle. So yeah, I'd say you could probably get it's probably a 2 to 1. So if you're in a low, like pedal assist 1 or 2. So if you had a 20 amp hour battery, you should be able to get 40 miles, a guy my size anyway. But if you're a heavier rider, then it may be going more toward the 30 miles. But every bike is different. Every bike weighs different. The fat tire bikes are gonna, of course, use more battery because they're heavier. And how much cargo you're carrying, all that's gonna factor in. Let me get turned here at this street. So if you're debating on whether to get a second battery, I bet you in a lot of cases you don't even really need it, because most commuters will ride, their ride is within 10 miles at the most, like 10 miles or less. So if you're only riding 10 miles, then almost any battery, even if you are carrying a weight, is going to take you your distance. You know, just make sure your battery is nice, you know, you're charged up for your ride, and you should be good to go. So if you're debating and you want to save money on buying your bike, because batteries are the most expensive part of your bike. So if you're new in e-bikes and are curious about that, yes, batteries they can be upwards of 40% of your cost of your bike is the battery or batteries. Anywhere in that 30 to at least 30%, but more like 40, and in some cases it could be even higher than that. Like I say, if you have multiple batteries. But yep, I don't think in a lot of instances, if you're just riding like that 10 mile or less, then geez, you don't even need a second battery. And for some bikes like the one I'm riding right now, there's nowhere to put a second battery, and I don't think you're going to want to haul around a second battery like this, because let's face it, it weighs 35 pounds, so even carrying that, it's going to be a lot of extra weight. Strap it somewhere on your bike or on your back, or on, if you got a rack on the back. But the other thing that's going to deter you from getting a second battery like this battery for this bike here, $1,600 to buy an extra battery. So I think you'd have to think twice before you did that. But like I say, in a lot of cases, I don't even think you need a second battery. Because like I say, most riders, they say when they're commuting or riding around or just, you know, pleasure riding, they don't even ride beyond 10 miles. So, and basically every battery out there, every battery size is going to get you that 10 miles. And so save yourself your money and the little extra weight that's on the bike, and just go with the one battery. Just make sure it's charged up before you go for your ride. You could be saving yourself hundreds of dollars on a second battery that you don't really need. But if you're one of those ones that likes to ride 40, 50 mile rides, then yeah, a second battery would be a good idea. But like I say, most riders don't even need a second battery. I think I got the dogs barking around here. I don't think I hear them. They are barking. All right, that's going to do it for this video, talking about a second battery and battery range. Do you need a second battery? In a lot of cases, no. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this video or any others, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. Be safe out there, everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.